Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining us from. We are here once again, live on 360 Leadership Network, and this is Unmute Yourself. We're happy to have you here, and you know how we do it. You know how we do it. Wherever you're joining us from, we'd like to know your name, where you're joining us from, and what your expectations are tonight. I have my friend here with me, Otobong, and I'll bring him up shortly. And hello, Oti, how are you?
Hello, Komi. Good evening. How is it on your end?
I'm fine, and you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Doing good. Doing great.
We are here again. We're here again. We're here again. So
Yeah, really excited
tell
too.
us, tell us what's happening. What's going to happen tonight?
All right, guys. So, welcome to the Unmute Yourself series. Which is really organized by 360 Leadership Network, and this month of Unmute Yourself is also really going to be exciting. But I'll just give us a little background of what we do at 360. For those of us who are just joining in for the first time, 360 Leadership Network is very passionate about leadership development for young people, and not just young people, also working with organizations to ensure that they can build teams that can understand visions and also can help people to build their personal leadership, not just for themselves, but also to be able to lead their organizations in the right direction. So today we're also excited to have to go on to have the event. Our Meet Yourself series runs as a franchise of 360 Leadership Network. It has been running since sometime March last year, and then we've been having a lot of amazing series meeting with different people. We've talked about identity. We spoke with Jim Mikey sometime last year. We spoke with David Paul in Nature. We spoke with amazing people going on our YouTube page, on our Facebook page, and our Facebook community. All these event has been shared. So if it's something you enjoy, really want you to go in there and check. So we're excited to have you once more. So please, from anywhere you're joining in, just drop your comments and let us know where you are enjoying it from and what you look forward to seeing today. So today we are going to be speaking with an amazing person. Komi is going to be having an amazing conversation with an amazing young woman that's really doing remarkable things. I'm talking of no one else than Ife Thomas. Ife Thomas is an amazing speaker, and when I spoke with Komi said this who is going to be coming up this month, and then I just looked up for the things that she was doing, and I was like, wow, this is someone who has a track record, not just someone who's talking about something, but has also built a brand. So there's so much we're going to be sharing today about consistency, about how that has been a key factor in what she's doing. So I'll just read about briefly. Ife Thomas forged her fame as a dancer on the X Factor, following a fast-paced and demanding career in her youth. From joining girls band and performing across the BBC to making cameos in commercials and featuring in the music videos of the stars, Ife was never far from the limelight. Unfortunately, Ife's jam-packed performing career was brought to a beginning after she sustained a serious knee injury, leaving her unable to keep up with the demanding schedules. During her performing to a close, Ife did not let her misfortune get her down, and she worked her way into appearing on Big Brother in 2010. Having won the heart of the British general public with her dancing appearances and Big Brother antics, Ife has set a changing direction from the jam-packed entertainment world. Ife has won her skills as a speaker and has diversified into corporate finance, swapping her dancing attire for a business director of the Ladder Agency and then managing director of the National Accountancy Network. Under a careful watch, the Ife is now considered an authority in the world of sales, marketing, business, and corporate coaching, having founded the National Network of
Wow, I think Oti is having some network issues right there. I'm just gonna take over from him. So what he was doing basically is to introduce our amazing guest for today, which is Ife Thomas. Like we all know, we have an amazing guest for today that we are really excited and really privileged to have, and it's no other person than Ife Thomas. And I'm sure he has been doing a lot of some introduction, but I think his network is breaking, and we really can't hear him boldly. One amazing thing to know about Ife is that Ife Thomas forged her name as a dancer on the X Factor. For those of us that have been watching X Factor, you know what I'm talking about. And this is one of the one of the most famous names on X Factor. And I'm just going to go down where she appeared on Big Brother in 2010. She was one of those that rose to fame on Big Brother in 2010, and she's also an executive director of the Ladder Agency, and then the managing director of the National Accountancy Network. She's also the founder. Okay, haven't founded the National Network of Chartered Accountants. You can see she has a very long profile. If I want to read this, we won't leave here today. And she also created something very amazing and remarkable, which is the Confidence Star. And I think she will tell us much more about the Confidence Star today. And also she's an author, an amazing author of a book of the Powerlifting Your Career, Everything You Need to Succeed. Yeah, she wrote a book about career, an amazing book. And she will also be telling us about our website where we can get more information about her and also about the book. It's a book that everybody that wants to rise in career has to read. I strongly recommend the book for you. She's also an activist of the Black Life Movement. And also one thing she does with so much passion is to help people boost their self-esteem and confidence. There is so much to say about this amazing lady, and we have so much privilege to be hosting her on live today. I'll be bringing her up shortly, so we just go straight into what we have for today. Who is excited to listen to our guest? If you're excited, can I see you drop it in the comment section? Tell me what your expectations are for tonight. Let me know as I bring up our guest for tonight. Wow. Good evening. Oh, your mic is muted.
Hi, good
Yeah,
evening.
you're up
Good
now.
evening.
Good
Trying to get
evening.
myself
How are you?
I forget that we're mirrored here. This is a mirrored version.
Yeah.
And as you know, I do a lot of stuff on camera, so I'm like making sure that I'm on camera correctly because I can't promote that if I'm not doing it right. There we go.
Nice to have you. Nice to have you, Ife.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we're really grateful out of a very busy schedule, and you just gave out your time to be here today. Thank you so much for all you do and all you represent, and we honor you greatly, and we honor the work that you do. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
yeah, we'll be going straight into what we have for today because we know you have a very busy schedule, and so we won't want to take much of your time. Quickly, we'd just like to meet you. We've done an introduction about you, we read a bit of your bio, but we are privileged to have you and would like the people to meet you as first hand. So we'd like you to reintroduce yourself and tell us about yourself. Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here, and thank you for inviting me. It's a real pleasure to be here today. Well, this evening it's 8 p.m. in the UK, and I think whereabouts are you? Are you here in the UK as well?
Myself?
Yeah.
I'm in Cyprus.
Oh, okay. So what time are you?
Yeah, I'm 10. That's 19 past 10 now.
Wow. Okay, then. So, yeah, it's 8 p.m. here. So it's Friday. Friday is one of my favorite days of the week. So it's lovely to do this. My name's Ife Thomas. I'm a mindset and confidence coach, and I'm an author and platform speaker. I'm the founder of this product, which is behind me there, called the Confidence Star, which I'd love to talk about. And I absolutely love the work that I get to do. At the moment, the main area where I'm focusing most of my energy is building my media company, which is helping entrepreneurs and coaches get on video and share their story. I think that when you share your story, you're able to attract more of your ideal customers, you're able to communicate your message, and you're able to have big impact. And I love storytelling, and it's absolutely an honor that I get to do this every day, as well as all the other things that I do. So that's a little bit about me. So I'm glad to be here and to be talking about one of my favorite letter C's, consistency. I think consistency is very much a key to success. If you can be consistent, then you will see results. So I can't wait to get into the conversation.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You talked about the confidence style. We're going to come to that, and you tell us a bit about it. We'll be privileged to know a bit about the confidence style and also the work that you do. Okay, right now we want to know you have a niche for yourself. You've carved a niche for yourself, and you've blossomed a lot from that niche that you've carved for yourself, and you're very visual and very vocal about it. For those that follow you on Instagram and go through your stories on Instagram is always very full. I sometimes I wonder how you do that, how you're able to keep up with your story and narrating your everyday moves, and I just keep your audience in just that moment is something you really need to tell us about. But now we want to know how did you get into the space that you are now? How did you get into the space of confidence? You helping people build your confidence, helping speakers, companies, and all that. How did you get into that space? And what was the passion that fueled that reality of you? We'd like to know. Thank you.
Well, that's a really good question that you ask. How did I get into this space? So it was deliberate. Some people say, "Oh, I just fell into it." I didn't just fall into this space. It was absolutely deliberate in the work that I do and the way that I communicate. What the thing is, what I like to do. Let me just move myself around. Now that it's on a full screen. So the work that I do is very much related to who I've become. I had a vision of what I wanted to do and who I wanted to become and what I wanted to achieve. So once I knew what I wanted, then I had to figure out, well, who do I need to become to get there? Because I recognized that who I wasn't going to get me to where I wanted to be. You have to adapt. You have to change the way that you think, the way that you do things. So how I got to this place was, I remember from a very young girl, I've always appeared super friendly and chatty and confident, and I'd always been willing to put myself into uncomfortable positions just so that I can really show up. And as I got older and as I experienced more connection with other people, I recognized that many people go through their life who are not confident. Many people go through their life who are not able to take control of what it is that they want. And I wanted to figure out, why are some people really confident and other people are not? Why are some people more successful, other people are not? What is the key? What is the thing that they're doing differently? So once I started to go on my journey of self-development and reading, like, I'm a massive fan of Brian Tracy, and reading his book Maximum Achievement, and then reading Think and Grow Rich, and reading as many personal development books I get my hands on, I discovered that they're all saying very similar things. And I just started doing the things that the people who were where I wanted to be did, and then just consistently kept going. So where I am now is definitely a result of the things that I did in the past that have got me to this place. So I know that where I'm going to be in the future is going to be a result of the things that I do now.
Wow, amazing journey of number one. What I see part of your journey is consistency as well, and just a life of focus and vision as well, that has brought you so far to where you are today. Thank you so much. Okay, right now we want to know what is consistency to you? What is consistency to you? We are going to come to the question, maybe after that we're going to come to the question of how does consistency and confidence, is there a link between consistency and confidence?
There is a massive link. There's a massive link.
So right now let's know what is consistency to you? What is it all about?
So what do I do that's consistent, or what do I believe consistency is? Shall I break down? Okay, so consistency is being able to show up without being able to see results instantly, but to be able to keep going. So if you think about so because of my dance training, I always try to use a fitness analogy. Is it me, or can you hear music? Is there music on?
Yeah, there's a music.
Oh, okay. Because I'm kind of like speaking to the rhythm of the music. Okay. So yeah, with consistency, I would say that if you were somebody who likes to work out your body, you like to be into fitness, you know that you can't show up at the gym and get a six-pack after one session. Like, you can't walk in and then do a couple of sit-ups and then, oh, a massive six-pack. Everyone knows that doesn't exist. Same thing when it comes to everything that we do in business, in life, in parenting. Everything involves consistency. And what happens is, a lot of the time you can show up, but you don't see the results. It's a bit like, there's a really great story that I love around consistency, and it's called the bamboo tree story. And it's a story that I've heard Les Brown talk about. And the story is that if you imagine you plant a seed in the ground, and you plant that seed in the ground, and every day that seed, what does it need to grow? It needs sunshine, it needs water, and it needs the ground needs to be cultivated, and it needs to be managed daily, looked after regularly. So the story of the bamboo tree story is about a guy who plants a seed, and he waters it every day. He plants the bamboo seed every day, he waters it, and after 6 months, people are looking at the seed thinking, well, what are you doing? Like, nothing's happening. And he keeps watering it, and people keep looking at him thinking, I don't know why you keep watering that seed. That's not going to grow into anything. So he keeps doing that for like 2 years or something. And then what happens is, on the second year, people are literally like, you got to just stop watering that seed. It's a dead seed. It's not going to work. It's not relevant. Stop wasting your time. And the guy just keeps watering the seed. He makes sure that the sunlight, and he keeps watering that seed. He takes this can and he waters it and he waters it. Now 5 years pass, and he's been watering this seed, and people have just laughed at him. People think he's funny, he's silly. And after 5 years, in 6 months, the seed suddenly shoots 90 feet tall. And you have to ask yourself, did that seed grow 90 feet tall in 6 months, or did it grow 90 feet tall in 5 years and 6 months? Because for the first 5 years, you didn't see anything happening. Nothing was happening. You just kept turning up, watering the seed over and over and over. People were laughing, but he kept being consistent. But what actually happened is, by him watering the seed, we couldn't see on the surface it breaking through the ground. What we saw, what we didn't see, was the roots. The roots were getting deeper, downwards, going down. What you couldn't see, and if he didn't keep watering, the roots wouldn't have gone further down and created strength and structure. And the commitment of the consistency meant that when the bamboo tree, the seed broke through, and then it grew in 6 months, 90 feet. People were like, wow. And some people might say that took only, 6 months, but it actually took 5 years and 6 months. And that's what happens a lot in the world. You see somebody with a six-pack and you think, oh, they just went to the gym for 6 months. No, it is about the work that nobody sees. It's about celebrating, practicing in private, which is the roots growing privately, but then you get celebrated in public when you go tall. And one of the things that I heard, which really inspired me, is when you want to see how tall a building is going to be, you have to look to see how deep the foundation is. So if you want a tall building, you have to go deeper in the foundation. And that's what consistency is for me. It's about doing the work, digging deep daily, consistently, over and over again, even when you don't see anything happening, even when on the surface nothing's happening, because eventually what happens is you have your breakthrough. And then when you break through and you go tall and you go successful, and if we look at the metaphor, you earn more money, your body looks amazing, you're a happier person, you drive the best car, you have the best relationships, and your life is amazing to everyone on the outside, and they say, oh, well, aren't you lucky? But what they haven't realized is this is the work that you've been doing, cultivating and watering and digging deep. And the problem what most people have is they find it hard to be consistent, because why? They don't just have one seed, they have hundreds of seeds. I'm going to be a painter, a decorator, a movie star, a real estate, a property development, I'm going to do videos, I'm going to have my own store, I'm going to do ship dropping, I'm going to all this stuff, drop shipping, people have all these ideas of all the things they're going to do, and instead of just picking one seed and watering that consistently, they pick 7 seeds or 70 seeds, or let's say 1,000 seeds, and they use that 1 can of water that the man used for 5 years. They try and spread that over all the seeds, and what happens is there's never enough water to go round to all the seeds. And if you do try to spread the water thin, all the seeds get a little tiny bit, which means that they're not getting the full power, which is why if you want to be consistent and you want to start being, it takes energy, it takes time, it means you have to be uncomfortable, it means people are going to laugh at you when they don't see things happening, you're going to question yourself, there's going to be a lot of mindset that's needed and a lot of confidence. You're going to have to believe in yourself, you're going to have to believe that no matter what happens, you will break through and it will work for you. But the hardest thing is trying to be consistent in thousands of, in 70 areas. Why are you going to try and be consistent in all those areas? That's like having 25 children and trying to be a great mum. It's going to be difficult because each child's only going to get a little bit of you. You want to give the child all of you, and that's with the seeds. So consistency is important.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Just from what you've said right now, I can draw that focus and clarity has a lot to do with consistency. Focus and clarity has a lot to do with the results that will come out of your consistency, right?
And the confidence and the self-belief, because if you believe, if like that man with the bamboo tree, he believed when nobody else believed that if he showed up consistently, he would see something. If you don't believe it, then why are you going to show up every day? So without the self-belief, then how on earth are you going to show up every day? You're not. So you're going to think like everyone else, I'm being silly, or this is a waste of time, or I'm not lucky. But when you believe, truly believe that you were born for greatness, you believe that you are here to do something, then you'll be willing to water that seed for 20 years.
Wow. Thank you so much. Such a powerful story and a powerful analogy. Thank you. We are going to look, because you're someone that you mentor a lot of coaches, a lot of mentors as well. You mentor mentors, you mentor coaches, and try to get clarity and confidence in what they do. When it comes to consistency, is there anything that you can say coaches and mentors are missing? Is there something they're not doing when it comes to consistency?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So one of the things that I find that a lot of people do, no matter how brilliant you are as a coach, or how brilliant you are as a mentor, how brilliant you are as a business person, if you do not have a clear idea of who you want to serve, then what happens is that you might be showing up consistently, but the message could be mystified, murky, diluted. So when we talk about consistency, I think of concentration. If you think about when you're making blackcurrant, you get the blackcurrant and you add a little bit of blackcurrant, then you add the water. What I find a lot of coaches and mentors do is they only add a drop of blackcurrant and then they add loads of water, and they basically water down who they're talking to. They're not consistent with who they're speaking to. They try to say, look, we don't want to make the blackcurrant too strong. We want to make it tasty for everyone, because some people like it strong, some people like it kind of weak, some people like it. So because we don't want to upset anyone, we'll just water it down so everyone can drink it. But the thing is that when you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. And a lot of people don't recognize that when you're not picking your ideal customer correctly. And I learned this from a lady called Marie Forleo. Marie Forleo is what helps hundreds of thousands maybe of coaches, and one of her messages is that you have to know who your ideal customer avatar is. You have to know who is the person that you're talking to, and once you know who you're talking to, you have to consistently show up and share stories and communicate with them in the content that you write, in the pictures that you post, in the content, the creation that you project out to the world. Every time that has to land with your ideal customer. And people struggle to keep showing up and saying the same thing because they're like, I'm bored of this, I want to say something else. But the minute you start speaking to a different audience, the audience that thought you knew them get disengaged. They're like, I thought you were speaking to me, but now you're talking about something that is irrelevant to me. And that's what I see coaches do. They're not consistent with their messaging. They're actually, they actually just go in all different directions. And what it does is it makes them tired and exhausted and overwhelmed and takes away their confidence and power, because then they're always like, I don't know what to say. But what it does is the people who are watching them, they get a bit disengaged, because they feel like you might not actually be who you say you are. So it actually creates distrust. People don't trust people who are constant. 1 minute I'm talking to mothers, the next minute I'm talking to children, then I'm talking to executives, now I'm talking to people with animals. Now, stop changing the avatar. Just speak to the person that you feel like you're absolutely here to serve with the product or service that you have, and you'll then become an authority in your space, because they'll say, you got to go to Ife because she helps coaches get on video. She helps coaches with messaging. They're not going to say, oh, you got to go to Ife, she's going to teach you how to dance. Because I don't talk about my dance. I'm not going to talk to you about dancing, because it's inconsistent with my ideal customer. So it's about letting go of things, really letting go of who you think you need to show up for, and actually just make a decision and be clear about who you want to help. And then every day when you show up, you're going to be confident and you're going to enjoy it, because you're going to be speaking about things that resonate with the people you want to serve.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's the power of the basic. And I wanted to ask, what really do you think is the main reason why coaches and mentors don't really focus on a particular message many times?
Great question. It's fear. It's the fear. The fear of it. I think it's a couple of things. Fear, definitely. The fear that if you speak to one person, you'll alienate others, which you won't. And the fear that they might fail. The fear that they might speak to those people and they'll reject them. Because most people, we come into this world as babies with only two fears. And that's the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. They're the things that are in our human DNA for the mechanism of our survival. That's in us all. But over time, we develop all these other fears. And one of the fears that we develop through childhood is fear of failure and fear of rejection. Because the fear of failure hurts so much, because as children, when we get something wrong and we get told, don't do that, stop that, don't do this, don't do that, what happens is our parents tend to take their love away from us. They make us feel like if we do well, it's conditional. And if we don't do well, then our love is gone. And that hits on the child's emotional line. And then that creates this feeling in, I don't want to do anything that's going to make me fail, because I don't want to upset my mum and dad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to always try to do things right. And then as adults, we're so scared of making a mistake that we always try to do things right, which means we never actually live up to our full potential, because we're so busy trying to do everything right and not fail that we don't actually try enough things. So that's one of the reasons. And the fear of rejection, the fear of being unwanted, the fear of being told no, because we don't like it. As children, when your parents say, no, get away from there, put that down, don't do that. As children, it's really a kind of an emotional thing. Very true. You think, oh no. So then because that's not resolved as children, as adults, we go into adulthood with this fear of rejection. But if we could develop in our mindset the ability for, the saying, it falls off off a duck's back, water off a duck's back. That saying of, if someone says no to you, you have to get used to being like, okay, move on, it's not personal. And if you build that, then you will try more things, because you won't be scared of someone saying no, rejecting you. You won't be scared that you try something and it doesn't work, and someone says naughty you, or silly you, or who do you think you are? It's all of those external fears that coaches have of failure and rejection, that they just say, I'm going to be safe. I'm not going to niche down. I'm just going to be general, and hopefully somebody will like what I say. Where I'm like, no, bulldozer that away, be specific, be clear, and speak to who you're talking to, and more of those people will come. And then you'll have the confidence, because if you turn up on anything, you know what you're going to say, because you live it, you breathe it, you know it. You know, I know my stuff because it's my lane. If you started asking me questions about anything out of my lane, I wouldn't know. I'm in my lane, doing my thing. So I don't have any fear of rejection or fear of failure, because I know that the right people will connect with me, and the people who aren't right for me won't even see me or be interested in me. And it's about letting go of trying to help everyone. That's the biggest thing. People want to help everyone. Well, yeah, that would be nice, but with messaging, you can't help everybody. You just can't. It's impossible to have a message that hits, that talks to everybody. You have to trip over every word that you say, you know, could upset someone or disengage somebody. So then you end up saying nothing, and then you don't post, and you don't share, and then nobody knows who you are, and then you wonder why your business hasn't grown.
Wow. Thank you so much. That's I hope coaches have to see that. That's a very powerful part of today's conversation. I'm gonna just clip that out and send it to so many coaches that I know. That's a very powerful message. Thank you so much. Thank you. We have to be bold with that message and stay on our lane and be confident about that. Yeah, not having the feeling of rejection and what people will think about what I'm saying, but I know what I'm out for, and I build myself on my lane, and I stay on my lane. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, yeah, let's look at this now. Let's say I'm someone struggling with procrastination. Yeah, and I want to go past that. I want to become confident. I want to become consistent with the things that I need to do. I want to set goals and have the ability to meet up those goals every day and be very proactive about my life. How do I move from being someone that procrastinates to someone of confidence and someone that is consistent?
Wow, what a great question. That's I think a lot of people would want to know the answer to that. Well, I am not a procrastinator. I do not procrastinate. I think procrastination and imposter syndrome and all of those things kind of intertwine. So how I beat procrastination is through goal setting, like you suggested. Now, when you set a goal has to be measurable, it has to be specific, it has to be something that is clear and defined. And when you set that goal, you must give it a time limit. Now, a lot of people say, I don't want to give a time limit. Give yourself a time limit so that you feel like you need to move fast. Because if there's this idea that most people set goals for the year and then they scramble to get those goals done at the last month of the year. So there's a great book called The 12-Week Year. It's by a guy called Brian P. Morgan. It's a brilliant book, and he breaks down, instead of looking at 12 months, you look at a 12-week year. So you give yourself 12 weeks and you set your goals on that. And I did this in 2018 with my partner. We built our goals on 12 weeks. It was incredible what we achieved in 3 months. I mean, we achieved in 3 months what people would take 3 years. So how do you overcome procrastination? Set your goal. Be specific about what the goal is. Make sure that it's measurable so anybody can tell you if you've reached it or not. And set the deadline very quick. Set the deadline so it's a close deadline. And then what you do is you look at it strategically. So I would set a goal and say in the next 3, I'd say, like, look at my 12-year goal. Where do I want to be in 12 months? Okay, so where do I want to be in 3 months, 12 weeks? Okay, what must I do? What are the tasks, the actionable tasks that I need to do to reach my goal in 3 months? And what happens is you get so focused on the tasks and the activities that are actually going to make the results. Because the thing is, you have the task, and a lot of people focus on the task, but the tasks that we're going to be creating are result-driven tasks. So you want results. So if let's say for instance, you said, look, I want to build my business. I want to have 5 new clients in 3 months. Yeah, and you said, okay, for me to get those 5 new clients in 3 months, how many people do I need to get to have a meeting with me? Okay, to every time I speak to 10 people, I sign 1 person up. Let's say that. So then he's like, I need 50 people to speak to me. Okay, so how am I going to get 50 people, 50 of my right clients to get on a call with me? Okay, where are my clients? Back to ideal customer. If my clients are mums, I need to start going on mum groups on Facebook. I need to start going to mum events. I need to start collaborating with mumpreneurs. And I need to make sure that I'm visible and seen and say to people, hey, if you're a mum and you want support, then get these people to all come through into my funnel. And the goal is get 50 meetings. Because if I get 50 meetings, I know out of every 10, 1 person's going to work with me. And I know that if I get 50, that's 5, then I've hit my goal. Right, so at the end of those 3 months, you review your goals. There's a strategy to it. People think that it just happens. No, you have to take the time to create the strategy, and then you have to take action. And then when you're taking action and you're consistently trying to get results, there's no room for procrastination, because you know that there's a ticking time clock for you. You know, there's no time for procrastination. So you have to do it. It's a bit like I went away to Barcelona, and before we went away, we had to fill in this online form for the COVID thing. We had to fill in the form and do this and do that and do this. And it was something we didn't want to do. So we procrastinated until the night before we went away. But we had to do it then, because otherwise we couldn't get on the plane. So you have to, so if you're setting your goals and you're setting them small in shorter distant time, you will do it quicker. So that's what you're doing. You're setting yourself plain deadlines. If you don't do it, you don't get where you're going. And you can break that down to daily goals. So I have daily goals. Like today, I was like, right, I need to get on the phone. I need to put the car in for a service. Why do I need to put the car in for a service today? Because if I don't do it today, then I could end up not having my insurance liable if I have an accident. So I need to get that service done. Right, it's non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. It's been in my diary now for 3 weeks. Non-negotiable. It's in there. And now it's booked. So it's every day you look and say, right, what must I get done today? So at the end of the day, I'm going to be able to review my goals and say, I did it. And only focus your energy on the things that are going to move the needle. A lot of people, they create a list and then they do the easy things first. Then I'll just quickly do that. I'll quickly do that. No, do the hardest, most impactful thing. So if you have to send first, there's a book called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy.
Eat That Frog, yeah. A wonderful book.
Frog, yeah, the most disgusting, horrible thing, the thing you don't want to do, that difficult conversation, that long email, that paperwork, whatever it is, you have to just do that first. Because what happens is when you do that, your self-esteem rises. And if there isn't enough time in the day to do the other things that are not important, never mind. But normally people spend the whole day doing the unimportant things, and it gets to the end of the day and they haven't done the number one thing that's going to move the needle. So that's why there's this thing called the Prego principle, where 80% of the things that you do are going to 20% of the things that you do are going to account for 80% of the results that you have. That's the thing. It's about looking at where do I spend most of my time, what things move the needle, what things are income producing. It's like you have to get serious about it. It's not, I know on my stories I'm like dancing around and everything's fun and my life is amazing and you'll always see me with a Starbucks like, But the truth, I can be like that because I have structure. I have goals. I'm very, very serious about my goals. So because I'm serious about it and I know what I'm doing and when I'm doing it and why I'm doing it, my intentions are aligned. So then I have time to do things, fun things. So when you talk about my stories, how do I do so many stories? I do them on the fly. I'll do a story like, yeah, look, no, is it my goal? No, my stories are just to keep in touch with my community. And I use my stories as a way to document my life, because what I do is then I can download those stories and make little videos for it. And also the stories remind me what I'm doing. The stories help me to connect with the world, because otherwise I'd just be working on my laptop all the time. But my stories allow me to share my thoughts with people who want to hear them. It's an extraordinary process going on stories, because I get to just show up and share because a lot of people see my life from afar, and they see, you know, the nice house, the car, the clothes, the kids, all that stuff, and they might have this idea that they can't have that. They might have this idea that it just was given to me. They may have this idea that people like them can't have this. But what I want to show is I pull the curtain back and say, listen, this is what I'm doing every day to get that. This is where I started. You can do it too. Who cares about cars? Maybe you don't care about cars. Maybe you just have a child who is struggling at school, and nobody's telling you that they're going to get back. They're going to get through it. And then you see my story of my children. You're like, okay, maybe my child is going to be okay. You know.
Yeah.
And or maybe you're going through a relationship and you're struggling with your husband or your wife or your partner, and you're feeling like it's hard to get along. Well, when you watch my stories, we openly show we have couples counseling. We are constantly working on a relationship. We've been together 18 years, and we're on the outside when you see our pictures, and we're showing you a section, but there's no way I'll just leave you with the snapshot of me and Terence happy. I want you to see the challenges we have, the difficulties we have, the work that we put in. I want you to see everything, so you don't get it twisted and think that because I don't like that Instagram life of my whole life is amazing and everything's perfect, because I think that's rubbish and it's toxic. What I do is I show, look, my life is pretty damn amazing because I made it amazing, but along the way there are problems and challenges and things every day that I have to, there's things I have to deal with, the things that I struggle with, there's things that my partner struggles with, there's things that my children struggle with, but we keep going. You know, that's the goal. I want other families, especially Black families, to see us and say, if they can do it, we can do it. You know, they're no more smarter than we are. They're not smarter than we are. They weren't born with this stuff. Maybe we could do that too. Maybe we can have that too. And for us, as we've been building our business and building our lifestyle, we couldn't find people who look like us to hold on to. We were desperate to, you know, reaching their goals and having impact and changing the world in some way. There was no one. So we had to be that, become that. And we love it. We're here to serve.
Wow. Thank you. Talking about your stories, I think what I'll be doing from now on is whenever I want to go on your story, I just grab a popcorn and just just see it, because it's a very, very entertaining journey, and I get to enjoy it, just knowing how your day is going, and also the, will I say, genuineness in the story. I remember once you shared when your hair got burnt. I don't know if you can remember.
I can remember. That was tragic. It was so scary. Scary. Oh my gosh. I think I still have a little bit of the scar from where it burnt my face. Like my hair went.
Yeah, I remember.
And I had one bit short.
Very true. Yeah. So I could say there's a lot of genuineness in that space. You just sharing your story, and also, just like you said, helping to motivate others, showing people that if you can do it, then they as well can do it. Thank you so much for that. I have a question. I have 2 or 3 more questions for you, and then we're going to go. But quickly, I want to tell those that are watching us, we have a lot of people watching us. I would like them to get your questions ready. If you're watching us, you're enjoying the session, please get your questions ready so we can ask our guests quickly. You have to be fast about that so we can get some questions through to her, and I'm sure she will answer your questions for you. Okay, right now, let me ask this amazing question. We would like to know, are there personal stories from your end of how you were able to stay consistent and build the personality that you are today? Are there personal stories you can share with us, maybe 1 or 2 stories of how you were able to stay consistent and build the person that you are today, and build the capacity and just everything that is amazing about you now. Maybe just one or two stories.
Okay, yeah, I'd love to share. So I would say that when I was 9 years old, my mum took me to a dance class for the first time, and I walked into the dance studio, and there were lots of little dancers jiggling along, and I went and started dancing, and the dance teacher, the choreographer, was at the front of the room, and she was showing us these moves like kneecap, shoulder, and I remember watching and copying and having this feeling go through my body of, this feels good. This feels so good, because there was somebody at the front showing me what to do. And up until that point, I had really struggled to figure out the world. I didn't know at the time, but I was struggling to understand communication styles. I was struggling to have those friendship group. I was struggling to feel like I was in the world, and I because everything seemed confusing to me. You know, I found like I had to work really hard to stay on top of things. You know, I was the kind of kid that didn't get jokes. You know, I felt very overwhelmed when I didn't know what was happening. I hated playing with Barbies or make believe stuff. I remember my sister, we had these Barbies, and I'd spend ages setting it all up. But then when she used to say, you want to play, I'd be like, no, I didn't want to play with them. I found it like, ugh. And when I knew friends were coming over.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I used to have this like anxiety of my friends coming over, wondering what they wanted to talk to me about and what would be happening and how would we be playing and what would we be, and then, but I never shared it with anyone, but because I thought that's how everyone felt. So I was very good at masking my anxiety. But when I went to the dance class and walked in, I remember feeling like the weight of the world had gone, and all I had to do was stand there and take instructions. And I think that's basically what's made me who I am, because until I went into my dance class and I recognized that I could actually learn things by people showing me, that's what I craved. I crave being taught. I don't find it easy to guess, and things don't come naturally to me. And I want to learn from people who can do something, and I can just, they can show me and I'll do it. And what I found as a dancer, I wasn't very good. I wasn't flexible. I was as stiff as a board. I struggled with timing, like doing the moves on time. I would always be a little bit off the beat, and I struggled with spatial awareness. So to do the move and to know where I am, I wasn't a natural born dancer, and it was apparent that I wasn't. But what I loved was that there was something to aim for. So when we used to finish dance class, my mum would take us home, me and my two sisters, who were naturally very good, who did have timing, who did have flexibility, who were, shoulders were down and were poised. And I was just a bit, I just looked a bit uncomfortable. But when I went home, they would go and play, and I would go down into our conservatory and put in the cassette tape, because we're talking about like the 90s. I put my cassette tape in, and I would practice what I'd learned over and over and over and over again for hours. And it's time for bed now, Ife. I'd say, I just need to practice it. And I'd go through the routine thousands of times until it felt right in my body. And then once it felt right in my body, I'd be ready for the next dance class so I could perform it and look great and or look better than I did. And what I noticed is the more and more I practiced, the better I became. I was like, so if I start off not very good and I practice, but not just practice the amount that everyone else does, practice 5 times as much as everyone else, then I can be at the same level as everybody else. But then what happened is, over years of doing that, I then became an under 16 champ. I then became a champion in my dance space, not because I was born with talent, but because I outworked the other dancers. I outperformed, outpracticed. So I did more, and eventually it started to pay off. And then when I left the world of dancing after having a career in dancing and went into the world of business, the same attributes that I'd learned as a child, consistency, dedication, I just implemented in my business. So the way I built my body, I built my business. I just followed those principles of consistency, dedication, goal setting, just being unstoppable and being willing to keep going until it appeared. When most people probably have never had to work so hard to become half good. But because of a young child, I experienced being so not good to being really good. I went through the process, so that I won't do anything in life without knowing what is the goal and who can show me what I need to do. And once I know what to do, I'll just keep going like a little woodpecker, chip, 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 until it, and nothing will make me stop until I see what I want. It's a bit like the David story, you know, the wonderful David story, the famous artist Michelangelo. So Michelangelo, he was commissioned by this wealthy family in Italy to create a beautiful statue piece, and he was looking for the perfect piece of marble. He spent 2 years looking for the perfect piece of marble to create this piece that he was commissioned to. And after 2 years, he was just driving along a side road and he just saw the marble. And he had the marble taken to his studio, where he started working on it, chipping away and polishing and sanding and breaking. And eventually, when he revealed the David in Florence, in the center, everyone turned and was like, wowed and breathtaking. It took their breath away how beautiful it was, how incredible it was. And when the people said to Michelangelo, how did you do that? How did you create it? He said, I could see the David in the marble, and I just had to remove away everything that wasn't the David. And that's how and that is exactly how I look at life and business. I can see what I want, and I have to remove away everything that doesn't align with that.
Yeah.
And then keep chipping away, keep chiseling, keep working on it over until it becomes. And then once it becomes, I'm like, it reinforces the idea, it reinforces the notion that you can have anything you want. You just have to be willing to consistently show up until it shows up. And then when it shows up, it like builds your confidence, because you're like, I didn't give up. Which means I'm unstoppable. Like literally, I say to myself, I am unstoppable, because I will keep going to get everything that I want, because I'm willing to keep going for as long as it takes. And I don't know how long it will take. That's the thing. When most people say, well, when can I have it? When can I be successful? How long is it going to take to be rich? How long is it going to take to build my business? I never ask how long is it going to take, because I've already decided in advance I'm going to do it for as long as it takes. So I don't need to know how long. Do you understand? And that's the difference. That's how I keep going, because I know eventually it will reveal itself. Like the David, it will reveal itself.
Finally. Wow. Thank you so much. I can see people just saying thank you for that inspiring and impactful story. Thank you so much. That I have a lot to learn, and I know this video is something I'll really have to go back and watch over and over again and just glean a lot from this story. Thank you so much. I'm going to ask this question. I think I have one more and then we'll go.
And I'll try not to make it too long. And at the end, if people stay to the end, I'm going to give you something free for your community.
Wow. Thank
something
you so
worth
much.
£590.
Wow, that's powerful. Thank you so much, guys. You can hear what she have said. So if I were you, I go nowhere, and you have to share this video so your friends and your family can come as well and also be a part of this gift. You just heard from her, so you don't go anywhere. Thank you so much. Okay, I have this question. I'm sure you've heard this word. I'm sure you've heard this sentence. It says, choose progress over perfection. I don't know if you've heard that.
Progress over perfection. Yeah, I love that, because that is related to procrastination as progress over perfection. Yeah, a lot of people want things to be perfect, but by making it perfect means that you're stopping yourself. You're not able to actually progress or improve or grow. Because if you think about it, if you're like, I want to make sure every step I take it perfectly, then what happens is you don't take one step at all. You're trying so hard to put that foot down.
It can never get perfect at the beginning.
I don't think anything's perfect. I think everything is part of the journey. I've never done anything in my life perfect. Nothing. I've never, even my book are mistakes in it. And I could rewrite it or re-edit it or reprint it, but I'm not going to. Because why would I? That's what I mean. Some people will never release anything because they're worried that they've made a mistake. The amount of times I post something on Instagram and realise that I've written something slightly wrong. I've wrote your instead of you are, or I've wrote there instead of THEIR, or I have missed a word out or a letter out. Some people are like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. People I'm like, yeah, I'll just edit it. I don't know, like if you really are going to, if you really are going to judge people based on a bit of grammar, then you've got issues. And I really believe that when you point a finger at somebody, you're pointing 3 back at yourself. So I never point fingers at people and say, oh, look at that. I never do that, because we are human beings, you know, we're human beings, and our job is to learn from our mistakes. But if we never make mistakes, like my son, he just walked in a minute ago, when he comes home and he's like, I got all of my spellings right, and I did all of this, and I got this, and I got that, I said, I don't know why you're going to school then if you're getting everything right. I said, I want you to come home and tell me some of the things you got wrong. Can you tell me some of the things that you failed at? Because what's the point of going to school if you get everything right all the time? Then you're not learning anything. He was like, oh. I said, I'm really pleased that you get your spellings right every time, but let's get a few wrong. So maybe we need to get harder spellings.
Very true.
Oh. I said, I want to hear about all your mistakes, darling, because that means you're growing. Where if we live in a world where like no one wants to make a mistake, I honestly, I couldn't give, 2 flies.
Okay. It's been a wonderful time with you, Ife. Thank you. You're just an amazing person, and sharing your story and just the way you speak and everything, making the whole session amazing. Thank you so much. And okay, right now we are going to talk about your confidence star. I can see it right behind you there. So
yes.
Tell us
about it. I've got actually one.
Yeah, yes. That is it.
This is the confidence star. I'm trying to put it in the shot. So this is the confidence star, and I created it. Oh, it's mirrored, isn't it? This. So yeah,
we can see it now.
There we go. You can see it, can't you? Look, you can see my phone. Oh. Anyway, basically, the confidence star is a star-shaped mirror that I created. And the idea is that you look into the star every single day and you say, I am somebody, I am good enough, I can do anything, I like myself. Now, it started off as something that I created for my son, because my eldest son is autistic, and he was told that he'd struggle for the rest of his life being autistic, and that when he gets older, when we're not here, his mum and dad, he'd have to go into assisted living. And it was very bleak, the future they kind of projected for him, and I just thought, that's not going to be my son. So I need to figure out what are the challenges that people with autism suffer with. Depression, anxiety. 9 out of 10 people with autism suffer depression or anxiety. 28 times more likely to take their own lives. These are statistics that I was finding out about my child. I was like, not on my watch, no way. What can I do to make sure my little 2-year-old doesn't turn into a 22-year-old that wants to take his own life? Okay, what do I need to do? Right, as much as I'm going to tell him that I love him, I need him to love himself.
Self.
And how can I do that? How can I build that into his subconscious mind? And I read the book You Can Heal Your Life, and I'd read a book by Brian Tracy called Maximum Achievement. So the book Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy and the book You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay, they both talk about your self-concept, and they talk about how your self-concept is one of the most incredible discoveries of the 21st century, that each one of us carries around with us a bundle of beliefs about ourselves and about who we think we can be, and those beliefs determine who we become. So I was like, well, what are those three things? You've got self-image, the way you see yourself. You've got your self-ideal, the way you would like to be. And then you've got your self-esteem, the way you feel about yourself. Now, your self-esteem the powers your personality. Your self-esteem works like the power source to the way you communicate with the world. And Dr. Nathaniel Branden says your self-esteem is your reputation with yourself. So the fact that your self-esteem is so important.
Can I cut you there, please? You said something that's very powerful, and I want someone to learn something from there. What you think about yourself and what others think about you, which is very important.
What you think about yourself is much more important.
Can you please say that again, please?
So Dr. Nathaniel Branden said that your self-esteem is basically your reputation with yourself. How you think about yourself, how you feel about yourself. The more you like and love yourself, the more you can like and love other people. You can't give somebody something that you don't have. So you have to fill yourself up with the words that you say to yourself, the way you speak about yourself, the narrative that you walk around, the dialogue that you have with yourself. People, if you could get inside someone's mind and hear what they say, it is scary, some of the things that people say about themselves. They call themselves horrible names. They put themselves down. Some people even slap their own face that they hate themselves that much. And that is so scary. So for my son, I thought, what can I do to counterbalance the fact that he might not like himself? He might wish that he was somebody else. He may feel like he's never good enough. He may feel that he can't do anything. Right, okay, I need to get the opposite in him. So at 3 years old, I stand my son in front of a mirror and I get him to say, I am Quincy. I am somebody. I am good enough. I can do anything. I like myself. At 3, my son is now 10. He has said those words every single day of his life, as well as his brother. And every single class that he's been in, we have taken the star with these words into the class so that other people can say these words too, because these words are the power. These are the power source. So the confidence star, yes, it started off for my son. Then he took it into his class, and then my other son took it into his class. And then the school asked me to go in and deliver the presentation about the star because it was having big impacts at after school club. The after school club were loving it. Parents were using it. People would message me and say, my child, they can't say it. They won't say it. I never knew they hated themselves. What do? I say, you get them to say the words, you bribe them, because even if you don't believe the words, by simply saying them, they go into your subconscious mind. And when they go into your subconscious mind, they work as a shield. They protect you from your own criticism and other people. And the more you build those words in, what happens is the more you like yourself. You can't say those words and not like yourself over time. It takes probably about a month. Parents message me now and say, my child started saying them, didn't want to say them, didn't believe them. Now they enjoy saying them and they say that it saved them. I've watched it help. I've watched it help so many children. I stood there and held the star up in front of a 71-year-old who was in a domestic violence women's shelter group. And I went round with the star, and this woman was just said the words, and she said, I wish I had these words 30 years ago. Wow. Because well, I'm going to take them now. So it's not just for children. It started as me, but it's actually the parents that struggle as well to say them, and the school teachers. I've done it in assemblies and got the school teachers who are promoting the star to the students to say it, and they break down, they get upset, they realize that I'm a 40-year-old woman teaching these children, and deep down I don't like myself. Deep down I don't believe in myself. You know, and it's deep-rooted trauma from childhood. And most people can't get out of childhood without a bit of trauma. So it's about how do we change that? and we change it by the words that we say. So the star is my gift to the world. It is the thing that I believe God has given me this to do. I'm on a mission, and maybe not now, because at the moment I sell them as people buy them off the website, but I have a vision that one day these stars are going to be in every single home across the world, the globe will have a star, and everyone will understand that the words that you say to yourself make you. They make you or they break you. And it's going to be like, as people brush their teeth every day, no one argues that brushing your teeth doesn't stop decay. Everyone knows that you need to brush your teeth for healthy teeth. I want people to know that actually when you brush your teeth, you also need to say, I am somebody, I am good enough, I can do anything, I like myself. And that's going to change the nation. And right now we're in a mental health crisis. So everyone talks about the physical pandemic of COVID. Let's look at, COVID has not only destroyed bodies, it's actually destroyed the souls of people as well. People's souls have been ruined by COVID. So we have to start rebuilding people's mental health now. And the star is the fastest, most effective way to get those words in. And it's not woo-woo. We've looked at fMRI imaging, functional resonant imaging that has shown that the brain can change. It can change when you say those words. It's not even woo-woo. It is actually based on neuroplasticity. It's based on the science of the brain. So I'm really passionate about this, as you can tell. I'm like, ah! So if you don't have a star, then you can just look in your mirror and say, I like myself. The star's been created because I know it looks lovely on the wall and people can use it and refer to it. Loads of my clients in their 30s, 40s, they have a star in their bathroom, on the back of their door. When they leave the house, they say the words. It's become part of their routine and it's changing their lives. So that's my gift to the world. And if I die before I get these out there, hopefully this video will go out and people will start buying them.
Thank you. I hear Quincy and Cuba say it every day. I most of the times you share them on your story. I see them saying it, and it's really amazing. It's really amazing. And there's one of those days we're asking him, what's the impact of him saying those words to himself? And he actually says power. I think he said power or something. I heard him say something like that. That was amazing. Yeah. We are going to come to how people can get the star in a bit. But let me just say this last question and then we'll wrap it up. You also do a lot for Black families, like you said, helping Black families and Black people and all that. We'd like to know what's your work related to the Black community. Yeah, what are you doing to help the Black community as well?
Well, this is really good. We have a program on YouTube called Lockdown with the Thomases. Have you seen it?
Not yet.
Maybe not. I haven't. In lockdown, we created a program called Lockdown with the Thomases. So it's like a 20-minute little episode, and we have 6 of them. And the next thing that we're doing, which is really exciting, is there isn't a Black family on TV that you can watch, is there? Right now, not really one where you can watch them. Well, we are in the process of creating our pilot so that we can actually be a regular show, Life with the Thomases.
Amazing.
So you guys Black families can watch us and see, a different representation of Black people, because normally when you're watching Black people, we're showing drama, or we're showing not the best positive side of it. But what we're going to show is culture, fun, confidence. Well, we're going to show culture, consistency, and community and confidence. So you'll get to come into our lives like you do on our stories, but it'll be a bit more structured. Yeah. So at the moment, what I'm actually asking the people who follow me on stories is to send me a message of your favorite story. So you've told me you like the one where my hair's on fire. So yeah. I'm going to add that into the list, because I'm going to take all the best bits and we're going to put them into like a little video. And then we're going to send that to some of the TV agents, and we're going to get that either whether it's on a Netflix deal or whatever the platform is. But we're now moving into the world of TV.
Wow, amazing. amazing to be really amazing to have you back on TV. You've been there a couple of times before, and we'll be glad to have you back. Glad to have you back. Okay, yeah. As we come to a close, we'd like to have your final words. What's your final words for everybody watching?
My final words, okay. I would say that for everyone watching is that there is a thing called the law of substitution. And the law of substitution says that you can only hold one thought in your mind at one time. So we can only hold one thought. So the first place for us to start is to monitor the thoughts that we think. Guard your minds. Only allow yourself to think thoughts that are going to give you positive feelings, that are going to give you positive emotions. If ever you have a thought that makes you feel sick, sad, upset, substitute that thought. You are the CEO of your mind. Do not allow yourself to think negative thoughts that are going to show up, because what you think about, you bring about. Your thoughts become things. That's it. And everyone can start by just deciding, I am not going to allow negative thoughts come into my mind because they do not serve me. And I'd say the last thing is, think about what you want, not what you don't want.
Powerful. So how can we connect with you, those that are meeting you for the first time? We have a lot of persons meeting you for the first time. How can they connect with you? How can they get the stars? And how?
Right. So first of all, let me give you the free gift that I told you about. So I'm going to send the free gift. So basically, I created an online course called Ife Thomas online course, Power Lift Your Career, Power Lift Your Life. And it's 12 chapters. You get, when you click on this link that I'm going to send to you, you go through and I'll give you the passcode. You get access to my online course where each chapter you get a video to summarize, you get the audiobook, you get the ebook, and this is retail at $590, and your community can have it. One thing though you have to do, they have to promise to take action. Don't just go through my book and my course and my audiobook and go, that's nice, and do nothing. Take action. So every single chapter there's basically a task that you have to do. Do the task before you move on to chapter 2. Also, when you put your email in, my system will send you an email every single week to remind you. But you can go on it and log in and watch them all and listen to them all in one go if you want. Or you can listen to one a week. It's up to you. And I'm going to give you that. I'm going to send it to you on your Instagram. And then you can give it to everyone else.
I will.
And I will see. So and then I'll give you one more bonus because I really love your community. The bonus is, once you get to chapter 3, they message me on Instagram and I'll give them a free 20-minute conversation to help them strategize their goals. So that's my gift. But they have to do chapter 3. They have to do chapter 3. They have to do the task. They have to do the work. I've just sent you on Instagram the link.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And the password.
Yeah, I can see them. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful. Guys, can we just let her thank you? Can we have the comments rolling? Just let her thank you. I can see someone saying, wow, thank you. Thanks, it's coming.
Rodell.
Thank you so much, Ife. Thank you. Thank you for all you do. We're really grateful. And thank you for just giving out your time and your expertise to just bless us this evening. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. And you can give me some digital love by going to my Instagram and having a look at some of my videos and posts, and you like them, comment on them. We can start building a conversation. Just give me some digital love over on the platforms where I share.
Very true. You can meet her on Instagram, Ife Thomas. Like I said, amazing content every day. Her stories are my favorite. I always visit them every day. So I'm sure you're gonna like it as well. So ensure you visit her. Make sure you follow her on Instagram.
Let me do an Instagram story now.
I see. Wow.
Okay, let's do an Instagram story with you, Comey. Okay.
Okay.
You'll see yourself on it when you look at that. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, so I'm ready.
Good evening. Guess where I am? I am on I'm on a StreamYard that's going live on YouTube and Facebook with the one and only Comey Marvin. Would you like to say hello, Comey?
Hello everybody. This is Kobe Balvin. I'm really glad to connect with Ife Thomas and all the wonderful stuff she does. Thank you so much, Ife, for just coming and blessing our community and with your expertise and just your words of wisdom. We're really happy to have you. Thank you so much, Ife Thomas. We're grateful. And I'm so glad to be on your story as well.
Yes, you're on the story. Look, you're on the story.
Wow, thank you. thank you.
There you go. And I will tag you as well in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will share when I see it come up there. I will. Thank you so much. I'm gonna share the links you sent. I'm gonna share it in the community. And also share it on my page as well, so a lot of persons can connect and be a part of it, and just do the works just as you coded. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful, and I think we need to let you go because I know you have a very busy schedule, so you can.
Thank you so much. I'm just posting it now. Bye everyone. Lovely to see you all. I will leave the studio. I'm leaving right now.
Yeah, bye. Wow. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us up to this time. This is 360 Leadership Network. My name is Komi Marvin, and this is the Unmute Yourself live series. Every month, we bring up amazing guests to just share their stories, to inspire us, and just let you know that you can do something. You can do something with your life, just like she said. If I can do it, then you can do it as well. It's time for you to unmute yourself and just bring out the best of all you can become. Like I always say, you don't have 600 years to be here on earth. So the little time you have here to be, you have to maximize it and make the very best use of it. You can see Ife Thomas, she's making the best use of her life and her time. And you as well, wherever you are on the face of the earth, you can maximize your life and make the very best use of it. Thank you, everybody that's stayed up with us up to this time. I can see Rhoda Vincent. I can see my big brother Stephen, Pastor Stephen Arowo Shegbe, all the way from UK. Thank you so much, sir. I can see Ruth Mahoro from Cyprus here. I can see Princess. I can see Tambari, and just a lot of persons. EB Tammy. Everybody, thank you so much. Tambari. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'm really grateful. Please ensure you like this video, ensure you share it with your friends, and just be a part of what is happening. And if you have not joined our community of 360 Leadership Network, we have a community on Facebook called 360 Evolve. Ensure you join that community and be a part of the amazing works we're doing there. Thank you so much. And if you want any further question, you can just send me a DM either on Instagram, on Facebook, wherever you're connecting with me from, and I'll be glad to be at your service. Thank you very much, and thank you everybody for joining. I'm going to be signing out now, and the link she sent for the gift, the £500 gift, I'm going to be sharing the link on my Facebook page, and I'm going to send it to the 360 Evolve group on Facebook as well. So ensure you're part of the community so you can get the gift. The gift is for people in that community. So if you want to get the gift, ensure you join the community 360 Evolve. You can send me a message of how you can be a part of it, and I'm sure I'm going to put you in the community. Thank you everybody for staying up for this time. Did I miss the gift? No, you didn't miss. You're part of the community, so you get the gifts in the community. Thank you, everybody, for staying up to this time. I'm grateful. Next month, we'll be here as well, powerfully, with another powerful guest to bless us. So do ensure you stay connected with 360 Leadership Network. And I'm sure your life is about to change. Signing out now. Ensure you like this video. Ensure you share. And stay blessed. and stay motivated and stay on meal set. So we'll meet next month. This is Komi Marvin signing out. Bye-bye. Thank you, sir. Thank you. God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you. Bye-bye.